Unit 3, the American Revolution Exam. Section 1, SCA Review. What caused American colonists to begin protesting actions of the British government, such as the Navigation Act, Proclamation Line, and Stamp Acts? A. These taxes cost too much and colonists took on too much debt. B. These taxes were supported by colonial representatives, and this gave King George III more power. C. These taxes were created without the consent of the American colonists, and they felt it was unfair to not be involved in the process of creating laws that directly affected them. Number 2. What effect did Enlightenment ideas have on the views and decisions of American colonists? Colonial leaders began extending voting rights to all citizens. Colonial leaders began supporting the idea that the colonies should support all decisions of King George III in Parliament. Colonists began to debate over whether or not monarchy was the best form of government for the colonies. 3. Select 3 of the below options. 3 of them. Which of the following statements are Enlightenment ideas that American patriots agreed with? A. God gives people natural rights when they are born. B. The people have the power to change the government if the government takes away their rights. C. Reason and logic justify that a king deserves to lead and control the rights of citizens. D. Kings rightfully gain their power through divine right. E. In an effective government, the people have a voice and have systems to check the power of the government. Remember, select 3. Continue to just select the letter. That's all you have to write. 4. Ideas from the Enlightenment influenced Americans to question the leadership of the English government and declare independence. What part of the Declaration explained evidence to support the colony's frustration? A. Section 1, the purpose of government is to protect citizens' natural rights. B. Section 2, the wrongs of the king. C. Section 3, the United States is a free and independent nation. D. Section 4, agreement to continue mercantilism and create a new parliament with colonial leaders involved. 5. When Thomas Jefferson wrote, "All men are created equal," he meant everyone should A. have the same rights, B. make the same income, C. have the same abilities, X. have the same education. 6. Common Sense by Thomas Paine aided the American cause in the Revolutionary War because it A. convinced France to join the fight against the British, B. led to Britain repealing all laws that frustrated the colonists, C. persuaded individuals to support independence from the British. 7. Ideas such as natural rights, consent of the governed, and limited government reflect which major idea of the Declaration of Independence? A. Mercantilism, B. Feudalism, C. Absolutism, X. Self-government. 8. What were the advantages the colonial army had fighting in the American Revolution? Choose all that apply. A. They were familiar with the land. B. They were better trained soldiers and a larger amount of them. C. They were fighting for a cause they believed in. D. They had a strong navy. E. The Continental Congress had no power to tax the colonies. Or this one I'm not telling you how many, so you choose all that apply. 9. Why was the Battle of Saratoga the turning point of the American Revolution? A. The British failed to split the colonies, and the results convinced the French to ally with America. B. The British surrendered their forces at this battle, and the war was now over. C. The British victory convinced more colonists to become loyalists and support England. 10. Which of the options describes the approach the British used to fight the American colonies? A. Started north in Boston, then failed in the south with Yorktown, and the war ended in the middle at Saratoga. B. Started north in Boston, then failed in the middle at Saratoga, and the war ended in the south at Yorktown. C. Started in the middle states with New York City, then failed in the south at Yorktown, and then the war ended in the north with their win at Bunker Hill. 11. American colonist Patrick Henry once said, "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." Which of the statements below is he supporting? A. The cause for American independence due to the king's restriction on his rights. B. His willingness to die to support the king. C. He was neutral and did not want to get involved in the debate over independence. 12. Select all statements that are accurate from the British perspective during this war. There are more than 2 that are correct. There are more than 2 that are correct. So which of these statements are accurate or true from the British perspective? A. Parliament supported Enlightenment ideas and believed in the Patriot cause. B. Many English citizens became frustrated with the war and did not feel the cost was worth it. C. King George III had supreme confidence he would win due to his army and navy. D. King George III used the ideas in the Declaration of Independence to reorganize the British government. Or E. The English government felt their actions were justified since the colonies were under English rule. You're selecting more than 2. 13. In the Hamilton song, The Battle of Yorktown, the verses finish with a repeat of the phrase, "The world turned upside down." What do they mean by the world being turned upside down? A. Columbus was wrong. The world is flat, and we are all going to fall off if we tip upside down. Due to Britain winning the war, the world would be filled with 2 to 3 superpowers that colonize everything. C. A major European nation losing to its colonies changes things, and other colonies will look to gain their freedom. 14. Which of the following options would have a negative effect on the Patriot cause? Select 2. Which of the following options would have a negative effect on the Patriot cause? A. The British blockade. B. The Battle of Saratoga. C. The Declaration of Independence. X. The inability of the Continental Congress to raise money. And 15. Which of the following options would have caused conflict within families, economic problems, or violence within the English colonies / U.S.? You will select 4. A. Creation of the Declaration of Independence. B. The British blockade. C. Your son is a loyalist. Sorry, this is going to change. Let's go with, what letter should we pick? K is an awesome letter. K, frustration in England with the length of the war. M, resistance to mercantilism. Or X, Canada continuing to support England. So once again, you will select 4 of these 6 options. You will write 4 letters down. Which of the following options would have caused conflict within families, economic problems, or violence within the English colonies? So there's your 15 questions. I got rid of a lot, so I made them extra credit. Lots of opportunity here. Cannot hurt but try. But honestly, do or do not. There is no try. Number 1, what is the revolution that John Adams is talking about that occurred before the violence of the Revolutionary War began? Here's John Adams' quote. "Revolution was effected before the war commenced. The revolution was in the minds and hearts of the people. This radical change in the principles, opinions, sentiments, and affections of the people was the real American Revolution. This can be answered in one word. 2. What is the name of the first official government of the United States? It ain't the Declaration. 3. What previous historical event gave the French motivation to help the Americans during the Revolutionary War? Give a little bit of an explanation why. 4. Let's see if you know your Hamilton song. Hercules Mulligan was an American spy. What job did he have that he used to learn information from the British? A, he was a tailor. B, he was a tax collector. C, he was a blacksmith. X, he was an enslaved person. 5. What Sorry, guys. 5. What document was the colony's final attempt at peace with the British government? Okay, 6 and 7 are questions from the tests of the past. So I'm going to read the question for 6. Speakers A, B, C, and X are discussing relations between Great Britain and the American colonies in early 1776. Base your answer to the question on the speaker's statements and on your knowledge of social studies. Which 2 speakers have concerns with British laws but are not in support of revolution? So as you go through these and you listen, which of these is not in support of actually having a revolution? Speaker A, let me say quite simply that making laws is not a basic right of the colonies. We are part of the British Empire and should obey the laws made by Parliament. Speaker B, let us first try to have our wrongs set right by just and peaceful means, by boycotting British goods, for example, before we take a step so extreme as to fight our mother country. Speaker C, a government of our own is our own natural right, and is a better to form one now when we have the power than to wait until we may have such a chance again. Or Speaker X, let us behave like obedient children who have received unjust blows from a beloved parent. Let us complain to our parent, but with words, not guns. So which 2 have concerns with British laws, but are not in support of revolution? The final question is a quote. In the statement, the colonists suggest the American colonists should do what? So, the quote, I challenge the warmest advocate for reconciliation to show a single advantage that this continent can reap by being connected with Great Britain. I repeat the challenge, not a single advantage is derived. Our corn will fetch its price in any market in Europe, and our imported goods must be paid for by them where we will. In this statement, the colonists suggest the American colonists should do what? A, negotiate an end to the conflict with England. B, form an alliance with England. C, declare independence from England. X, boycott goods from England.